Hi, today we're going to be seeking strategies using the Hunger Games as our mentor text. Today, we're going to use another author, Suzanne Collins, and her text, The Hunger Games, as mentors, looking carefully at how Collins has written her novel so that we can further our understanding of how to use certain strategies. This may feel like a repeat of Monday's lesson, but I'm touching on it again because sometimes, in order to really understand a strategy, we writers need to see more than one example of how mentor authors use a strategy. We are going to practice in order to deepen our understanding of each one so that I can apply them in my writing. So it's important to try several different texts and see if you can see the same types of strategies used in each of the texts. All right. You want to be sure to name which strategy you didn't fully understand last time. Mark it in the strategy column of your chart. So on that green chart, put a star by it. Carefully reread a section of the Hunger Games. Or in this case, you're going to be rereading your own text. Seek out the author, how the author uses the strategy, and record the place you found it, the strategy on your chart. So we are going to make a chart in our reader's notebook. And it'll be much like the one that you did in the crow call. On one side you need to have strategy, and on the other side an example from the text. Okay, my chart, for instance, looked like this. Alright, this is the chart that I used for the Hunger Games. I had the example in the text, I quoted it, and then I named the strategy over here. You'll be doing something similar with your own book. So for instance, on page 5 in the Hunger Games it says, I can feel the muscles in my face relaxing, my pace quickening as I climb the hills to our place, a rock ledge overlooking a valley. A thicket of berry bushes protects it from unwanted eyes. It says the setting can mirror the character's inner state. This setting is like away, hidden, private. She herself wants to just, this is Katniss saying this, she wants to get away from, sometimes it's helpful to write who said it. She's trying to get away from her life back in the district, in the poverty. So the setting here is very similar to how she's feeling. She wants to get away and be protected. Today the black cinder streets are empty. Shutters on the squat gray houses are closed. If I read that, I can tell something is about to happen, or it's not something good probably. So here the setting can build or develop tension. So you get the sense that something bad's probably going to happen. I look down here, it says, but today, when I was younger, when we finish, those are all examples of transitions to help readers understand the passage of time. Those are very important, and often they are left out of people's writing. Here we have, Prim's face is as fresh as a raindrop. This word is helps us compare Prim's face to a raindrop. And that is when we use similes. Writers use similes and metaphors to deepen descriptions and show the emotions of a character. You compare something to something we already know, it makes it much easier to understand and to visualize. Here we have, we all feel a little closer today, don't we, by Katniss. And we could do it, you know, leave the district, run off, live in the woods. You and I, we could make it, Gale says. Says sometimes characters' words have more than one meaning. Here, Gale is really talking about just getting away together. What he's saying is like, you and I could make it. He's in love with her, and he's basically, what he's trying to say is that be with me. Come away with me and be with me. Be my wife or whatever. He doesn't come right out and say that. He's just telling her we could run off. And may the odds, he tosses a berry in a high arc toward me. I catch it in my mouth and break the delicate skin on my teeth. The sweetness, tart, explodes across my tongue. Be ever in your favor. I finish with equal verve. So, Gale is saying, may the odds, and down here, Katniss answers him by saying, be ever in your favor. It's over here, the strategy is attaching action to words allows writers to show more of the internal story. So I think it's kind of playing a game with the berry. What are your chances of catching that berry? Kind of reflecting what are your chances of being picked in the lottery. So that action of tossing the berry up and her grabbing it and catching it, you know, is kind of saying, hey, yeah, may your chances be good for the reaping. So here's several strategies that I picked. I looked for them in my book. I noted where I got them from and what they were over here. All right, let's go back. And we are down here. All right, so again, notice I named the strategy. I picked one that I wasn't real familiar with. If you are already good at adding adjectives to make a more detailed setting, then you're not going to use that one. Pick one that you're kind of struggling with and try to find an example of it. I placed them in the strategy column of my chart. I carefully reread a section of the Hunger Games. I sought out how the author used the strategy, and then I recorded the place I found the strategy on my chart. Here we go. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Let's keep going. All right, so now I want you to pick a strategy you need more work on and put it in the column on your chart in your notebook, and then carefully read your own book, seeking to see how the author uses that strategy. Look to see if you can find where it's been used. Might be easier to go back over and read the things that you've already read. When you find an example, record it on your chart of mentor text strategies. I would also at all times be referring to the green handout chart that you have that lists all the strategies. All right, off you go to do good work.